Hey everyone! You know, Kidder Music Service is one of the greatest assets to our school district. From providing day-to-day materials like reeds and valve oil to purchasing pieces of sound and instrumental equipment, there isn't anything they can't do. Kidder Music Service helps our students sound the best they can each and every day, and we are proud to call them a Music in the Making sponsor. If you are looking for similar materials for your school, don't hesitate to call and ask for assistance and mention us, Music in the Making, today. Their number is 309-692-4040, or visit kiddermusic.com, that's Kidder music.com today for all your music classroom needs. And now, on to the podcast. Welcome to Music in the Making.
That's illegal.
I want to be with you everywhere. A Halloween party. Oh, that's fun. Let's talk about work.
Not what I said. Well, and I like Stanridge, so it's like I kind of.
Oh, you guys are friends?
Yeah, I talked to him. Yeah, we talked
to him last week.
A whole 5 minutes at Midwest last year. We are 3 high school and junior high music teachers from West Central Illinois.
And someone had to go to the bathroom during intermission and missed it. And that someone is me.
Yeah! Each week we will talk about our experiences in the classroom, community, and personal lives too. Please welcome your hosts, Lisa Hallen.
We say move all this stuff down there, and then it gets moved, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why have we moved that from there to there to there? Stop recording.
Art Martinez. Happy Friday if it was not a Friday, or Saturday or Sunday, or if you're Lisa, it's a week later. And Kevin Ferry.
Oh, what you're talking about.
During class.
Yeah, and like
I thought that was awesome.
We need to
You guys got
and the
really good
the amount of phone numbers I got afterwards.
Ooh.
They just want his files.
Right.
They're using me for my files.
Yes.
That's a big deal, though.
It is.
It's pretty cool.
Sam's got it.
That?
Yeah, it's
That's a
pretty
big
cool.
deal.
Welcome back to another episode of Music in the Making. We are just fresh off the panel. Oh my gosh. Thursday's been a long day. It's crazy.
It's over though.
It is.
No, it's not.
Well,
responsibility.
For responsibility.
Halfway over.
For responsibility, for fun, yes. The rest of the time, the rest of the nights can be just fun. So, boy, that was a lot of fun. That was my first time ever presenting anything at IMEC. So I'm glad I did it amongst
Me too, and
colleagues.
I've been doing this for 20 years.
Nice.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, but I thought it went off really well, and hopefully before you listen to this podcast, you'll listen to that
Yes.
podcast.
Okay,
Hey,
yep.
why don't you introduce our guests?
Well,
we have friends.
I know we do. But I was kind of like just before I got to
You're
that
always
part.
so slow. He is so slow.
Oh my gosh. Lisa, this is your podcast. What happens next? Where's the chicken?
Okay. I'm on Team Art this time. Like, I think you were fine that we were getting into it. We would get to it once we were.
Yeah, I'll just sit here
getting
in
into
the corner.
content.
You guys go. I'm gonna.
Well, I guess now that we're going to shoehorn this nice intro, we do have some guests with us. We have the famous Fusty Fuggles with us.
Fusty Fuggles.
That's
is
my brother.
Yeah, we don't say his name. Yeah, Rusty Ruggles, Mercer County High School extraordinaire, and then we have
the code.
What?
Nobody knew it was Rusty until you just said that.
Okay, do you want them introduced or do you not? We don't have the video right now, so
I'm gonna sit here in the corner.
Yeah.
anyway.
Nobody puts Kevy in the corner.
Okay.
Anyway, so we have Rusty with us from Mercer County. We also have Mr. Crispin Fornoff.
Crispy Doo.
Crispy Doo with us. So
I
he's
just thought of the.
always nice to have our Mercer County people. And we also have Mr. Sam Wan from Mercer County Choir Extraordinaire
Hi.
with us as well. So,
When I said Crispy Doo, you guys, the Andy Reid commercial. Bundle-a-rooski, Crispy Doo.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
You've never seen that Andy Reid
needs an
State
app.
Farm commercial?
He does.
Bundle-rooski?
No. I don't watch the Kansas City Chiefs games.
So Lisa named my to-do list
Chiefs plus
Honey-Do, and I'm like, no, don't do
Honey-Do.
that. So now she calls it Crispy Do.
There you go.
That's pretty
There you
good.
go. Crispy Doo.
you.
That's-
Yeah, that's good to know.
So, but for a first time, we have Hannah Murray. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Hannah?
This is my first year teaching.
Woo!
Yay!
Where did you go to college?
Western Illinois University.
Go next.
Shout out.
Go next.
Woo! And now I teach at Abingdon Avon.
Shout out.
Shout out.
And it's amazing.
Awesome. So welcome. So yeah, this is pretty informal. We just literally just talk and just hang out. Yeah. So back to the panel. I was shocked at how many people showed up. Like I know in general it was kind of like, oh, what?
I'm gonna interrupt you.
Oh, what, Sam?
You didn't introduce your.
Dr. Mrs.
Oh, whoops.
Is she on the podcast regularly?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
I was prioritizing the guests. I was
Not really. I mean,
I was
like,
prioritizing
She's
the
not in the
guests.
opening credits.
She's not in the open-
Therefore, she should be introduced.
Okay, fine.
Okay, sorry to interject.
It's
Wait,
okay.
no,
He's
no, you're
flying,
good. It's
so
okay.
he forgot.
I appreciate it.
It's okay. It's fine. I just want my apologies to Dr. Mrs. Martinez. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Someone's in the doghouse tonight.
Is anybody steering this ship?
I'm trying. There's no steering wheel, though. That's the problem. and it's already half sunk.
I know, I'm like,
Anyway.
As far as the
Go ahead.
number, I
Yes.
was trying to count how many people were in there, but I couldn't count that high. So
there was-
to give you an idea,
At least 10.
It's at least 10.
And less than 500.
Unless it's
Yes.
500. Well, I would say, did any of us see if there were, leftover handouts?
There was a
like
couple.
10 on the ground.
There were some.
Okay.
And then I threw mine away.
So that
Yeah.
means we had at least 100.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, there were more than 100 people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. We had at least 100. So, really, really cool. I mean, you go into that room and you're like, oh my gosh, this looks no way we're gonna fill this up in any way. But I mean, by the time we started, it was there were people still standing in the hallways listening. That's
Yeah.
they weren't even sitting down. So it was pretty neat to see that.
Shout out to Steve for putting it together.
Yeah, thank
Shout
you,
out
Steve.
Terry G. We saw you. We
Yeah,
love you.
Terry G. Solo Monson.
Monson.
That was great. We'll see him later today, probably. I think,
Yeah, we
but,
hope so.
He was former tuber professor at Western. He's a legend.
He taught me.
Crispin's tuba
He
professor.
taught
He
Crispin.
taught Crispin.
he taught me when I was in 7th grade
And he taught Hannah when she was in 7th grade.
and 8th grade and whenever, I don't
He's
know when
like
he
an old
retired.
curmudgeon, but he's pretty hilarious.
Okay.
So, you'd like him.
He's a
He
legend.
convinced my
Why would
parents
I
to
like
buy
it?
my first
You think I like
euphonium.
old curmudgeons?
Oh, can we not
my
refer to people like that?
This is
You guys are so rude.
they are.
Is curmudgeon a bad thing?
I was going to say, I feel it's a good
I think
What's wrong
most
with
people
old
that
people,
are,
Lisa?
I think most people that are old curmudgeons
No,
know it and they're fine with it.
Yeah, and that's
Kevin,
what makes
that's
him
because you're a
unique.
young curmudgeon.
A middle-aged
Yeah.
curmudgeon.
Dude, we could be the Muppets guys, you and I.
Yeah, up in the booth.
I can see that.
So far, this podcast.
And one of the Muppets just keeps asking, wait, what's happening?
The one that can't see, right?
Lisa, I want you to know I'm not swearing. But I want to really bad.
I want you to know that last night I was away from you in the lobby and I could hear you swearing from across the lobby. Mr. Barry! Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, why can I just hear Kevin saying bleep, bleep, bleep?
He was on a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
I almost, if I wasn't sitting on the literal floor, I would have gotten up and Mr. Ferried you, but it was going to be a lot
You would have been
better.
floored.
But thank you. I'm,
you were
I'm
already
really
there.
proud of you so far on this podcast. And at the panel.
It's only been
Yeah,
10
I almost
kept
did one
thinking
time.
at the beginning.
I almost did one
almost.
time.
There was one thing that, we won't say it here, but there was one thing that you said that we were all like, and then it
The
was
political
Yes.
party.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You referred to yourself as a certain
all
political
of our
party.
butt cheeks
Yeah.
collectively
Yeah.
clenched.
As soon as I said it, I went, in my head, I'm like, oh crap, that was a stupid thing to say in this.
That's
Kidding.
fine.
This,
I-
yeah.
I know it's fine, but in this day and age to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You really say a lot of
Okay.
stuff.
They're going to hear it on the.
No.
Yeah, they'll hear it. I was gonna say. Even
You
more.
never do that? You never heard that joke?
That's pretty good.
What does the N on the side of Nebraska's helmet stand for?
Knowledge.
Oh my gosh! But no, it was. I think overall it was great. It was nice to see so many people that we haven't seen also in there, and whether they're just to support or they were just actually genuinely here. I'm somewhat convinced that the people that were in that room We're like,
Other
I've
than
never
these
done
two.
other than exactly. Other than Sam and Rusty, we're genuinely genuinely interested in like what solo ensemble is, whether it be from the perspective of like I know people who do solo ensemble, but it sounds like too much work, or like I've never heard of this before at all. What is it? And they want to know how it. How to incorporate it in their program. I think it was one of the last questions where she's like, "How do I incorporate this with all the other things that are going on?" I'm like, "You might have to make some sacrifices, but honestly, it's start small and or try to think of the outcome. Like the kids will get so much better in the end after spending time on the individual.
Kids will be better at pep band once they have the individual accountability from solo and ensemble.
I was looking around and I saw just a lot of people taking notes and I was very
seriously.
much like they're interested, they're engaged.
Well, because like Kevin was like, "Are people even paying attention?" I'm like, "Dude, yes, they're like watching."
I saw someone had like a whole paper written about it. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome.
Their master's thesis.
Well, as a first-year teacher, I don't know what I'm doing, so it was helpful.
Isn't it amazing how much you don't know
Yes.
about teaching after
Yes.
going to school to
And
be a
it's
teacher?
not even like I got a really good education.
Yes.
And it was awesome. But like there's just so much. You just
Yeah. I think and it depends on where you want to go too, because I feel like some people get more like block teaching time than we did.
Yeah.
And I feel like that
agree.
would help. I mean, granted, you still have those parameters of like it's only one a day, but at least like an excuse to be in. It's almost like you should be part of the curriculum of a college should be like you need to be a parapro for a semester.
Yeah.
Like even if it's certain days of the week you're going to work in a school, because the schools could use the help in that too. So.
No, thank you.
Nose goes.
Yeah.
Nose goes.
So, but anyway, well, we did record last night. So last night we had made sure the kids got to their rehearsals. We were able to make sure they got dinner at the famous Obed and Isaac's. That's always a good time. Got to meet a new fan.
Yeah.
Shout out. What was his last
Chris.
name?
What's his last name?
I don't know.
Chris was next to him the whole time.
No, I don't
You guys were best friends last
Chris
night.
from
That's not
Metropolis.
true.
Chris,
I mean,
yeah.
he's a fine guy.
Oh yeah, he was great. I
From
couldn't.
Metropolis.
Well, because like I
From
focused on the
Superman
first
Sound.
name. I focused on the first name. I forgot not paying attention last. So shout out Chris.
Well, he emailed you. His last name will be there.
Oh, did he?
Kevin.
Oh yeah, he did email me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. So shout out Chris from Metropolis, but he lives in Paducah.
Paducah, Kentucky.
For meeting him at Obed and Isaac's, and then we actually ended up hanging out with him again last night. So today, a busy day though. I would say we all had our opening session with the Marching Illini, kind of like starting things off. That's pretty cool. Shout out Barry Hauser.
That's pretty cool.
It was like
Dynamite drop in, Rusty.
What?
They were standing at the top of this one with must be 5 stories at least up top there, and it was interesting to see. I was watching the trombones right over the ledge going.
Yeah.
And I was like, if somebody
Wait
goes
through it, yeah, I know.
a little too
Wait
much
for it.
slide oil goes.
Yeah, for real. Oh my gosh. But that was really fun. Like for me, it's like to see what we're trying to accomplish for our kids in action. Like to me, it's like that's like one of the best ways to start a conference is to see that, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was
So
really
how
cool.
did they up that next year, or how did they, because they haven't. I had not remembered anything like that.
Nope.
In 20 plus years of being here, that they've had something that big, and like the Marching Illini are freaking legit.
Yeah.
Like they're super good.
I mean, it could be
and
like a tradition thing. Like maybe they do it
back and do
every
it
year.
again.
Yeah, obviously maybe they do it every year.
But here's the thing: like we've had former students that have played for University of Notre Dame marching band, and I remember talking to them, and for them to go to a football game, away game, for the Irish marching band, $1 million.
Oh my god.
Because what they do is, so bowl games are over Christmas break. And so everybody goes home for Christmas break, and the University of Notre Dame gives them a plane ticket to wherever the game is.
Really?
Yeah, and so Patrick Fasano
Shout
shout
out.
out.
and Cecilia, sorry Cecilia,
Shout out.
they would be in Monmouth and they'd have a plane ticket to leave from Peoria to go to, well, one year they were in the national championship game, and it's like California or Florida, but 350 kids are getting on planes from all over the country and all going to, let's say, Orlando. And then they've got hotel, food, all this, $1 million just for the marching band to go. So it's not $1 million for Illini to go from Champaign to here for a half a day, but still, I'm going to bet that cost Illinois a little bit of money. Because I'm going to bet we didn't pay him to be here.
No.
Yeah.
You know, that was, what's his name?
Barry Hauser.
Barry
Shout
Hauser,
out.
shout out. I'm sure he did that out of the kindness of his heart. But the University of Illinois had to
That's
pay
just
for all
the
the charter
kind of
buses
guy.
Well,
and whatever they.
he's now our band division president. So I'm sure for him to be like, oh, it's no big deal. I want to do it. Also, it makes him look good and the program look good. Like, why would you not? Like, I mean, I don't know. So, yeah, I think the question would be, is this how it is? Is like the tradition, U of I always opens this up? Or has the standard been set and now we have to have something to draw us in? I honestly thought it was going to happen, like, during this session.
Yeah.
Like,
I was thinking.
I
That's
thought
what
it was supposed to be after, but
no, yeah. See, like I thought it was gonna be like during, like they were gonna sneak in and we didn't know it or something, or they would march in and do it. But that was still pretty fun. That was
Illinois had a good year this year. Like there are just a lot of football experiences, going to a bowl game and upsetting a very good team.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Like
that's
they
the
must
point.
have had such a great experience, and while this might not have been the highlight for them, maybe it is, but like it probably wouldn't be the highlight
I'm
for
gonna bet
them.
not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It was
bet a lot of them
very-
were very upset and
It was very good
that
because
they had to get up and get on a bus this early in the morning.
Because they don't know if they're gonna make a bowl game every year, so it's nice that they were able to schedule this and come to
Yeah.
this.
But so shout out Barry, thank you for starting the IMEC off right. And then it was nice to see people during the session, hanging out with some of us from like Caitlin from Orion, and we saw who else we see? So Wesley Anderson this morning. Shout out to Rova people.
Shout out.
So we'll be seeing a lot of them continuing on through the week. But but then shout out Madeline Wood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that was such a fun presentation today.
These are
Yeah,
my. I found my
you found
people. I found my people. Thank you. Thank you very much. These are my friends.
I won't tell him what you said about him.
That's, they already know. They already
I
know.
promise you he said it to our faces, too.
Well, he already divulged about the belt thing, so you know. Anyway, I love people.
Yeah, Madeline Wood.
Anyway,
Let's go
sorry.
back to that.
Madeline Wood, awesome.
I'm sitting at the bar and my guy comes up, he's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "I don't know where my
She
friends
had a
are."
presentation today.
We left the blind man alone in the bar.
Can we just pause to talk about it? Because it's still pretty funny. So, we're on our way to. We'll come back. Sorry, Manuel. We're coming back to you in a second. We're on our way up to the opening session, and we're just all kind of hanging out. We're going up the elevator, and then Kevin makes a comment that he forgot a belt. So we're
Do
all
not
kind of
have a belt. I left my belt at home.
So we're like just kind of poking fun at him, but then someone brought up like, well, wait, didn't you also forget a belt at
That
Lisa's
was me.
wedding?
I did.
That
I
was
forgot a belt at
that
Lisa's
was
wedding.
Dr. and Mrs. So we're seeing a trend here. But anyway,
I've
but the
noticed
person
a pattern.
yeah, right. But the person that walked by, it was Kevin was waiting like near the bar, and then the guy they had to talking, and he ended up mentioning this to this stranger. He didn't have a belt, so when he walked by just a second ago, that was pretty funny. Oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry, Madeline. Great job. That was so much fun to see your kids up there. Like, it's experiences like this that, again, I feel like these kids just do not understand the level of what they're doing. Like, showing off their talents, their abilities, their skills, representing their school at a conference like this with a bunch of strangers.
Well, and so for Madeline, great experience, great exposure, but what about that student teacher getting up there for the first time?
I know.
3
Shout
weeks
out
into
Sydney
student
Holland.
teaching,
Yes.
like, hey,
Sydney.
you're gonna direct at IMEC in front of a bunch of music teachers that will
know.
judge everything you do.
High
In
school.
a
A
way.
lot can say that they did something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in their first month of teaching.
Oh,
Yes.
I know. Shout out Sydney Hollis. Way to go.
Shout out.
You did a really good job.
You did.
Kids did great. We're actually working on Dark Ride right now for the junior high, so
good
it's
song.
tough. It's tough. It's hard. It's not easy. So, And the kids sounded great on it this
That was
morning.
the opening number?
Yeah, that was the first one.
And they premiered a piece.
And then premiered a piece. They got a piece commissioned. That's pretty cool. I've not heard of Tim Corpus.
Was that all of it?
No, I
I
think
don't
it
think
was.
so. I think
I
it's
think he
just a
can't
section.
officially. Yeah, I think he
figured.
can't
Well,
officially
he
record it.
mentioned that he writes scores predominantly.
Yeah, or for film. He did mention film, so that's pretty
Yeah.
neat. I mean, it had that film like sound. I don't know like how to describe it. Like when those composers write for film, like
Like
you
the
just-
grandiose. So
Yeah, or like it's very so picturesque with like the instruments. That it's like you can see immediately what their
A little
vision is.
minimalist, a little bit.
He
Yeah.
caught me off guard a little bit, reflecting on flutes being lime green and this section being
Yes.
forest green.
Well-
I'm like,
Did
I
you
get,
get
I
that?
get, I get
No.
it, but most
That-
people don't think in colors.
Right. Well, I've heard of that as it being a technique though.
Well,
for
yeah,
composition.
I went to an Eric Whitaker session.
Not shout out.
Shout out Eric Whitaker.
Unshout out.
Shout out Eric Whitaker, except for Kevin.
I'm so sorry that these people
with
are
me
so
on
rude.
this.
I don't like
Okay.
Eric Whitaker.
I'm kind of
As a person, I'm sure he's great, but
Anyway, Lisa, you
Sorry,
were saying you
Lisa.
went to.
No, I'm just gonna pout a little bit because I can't say
Lisa,
anything.
I like Eric Whitaker.
You're not doing the thing. You gotta raise your hand. It's like,
So, I didn't really know much going into it. I didn't have a lot of expectations, but he spent a lot of time talking about like color in his composition too, and it was just so cool to see inside someone like his mind as he's doing it.
Yeah.
So that was at Midwest a few years ago, and like I was taking photos of him as they were saying. No one's allowed to take photos of him. I was like, oh, awkward, okay.
That's because Eric Whitaker's also a paid model.
Probably, yeah.
No, he is. Like
Legit?
he has a history.
So's
That's
Fusty
crazy.
Fuggles.
yeah, I hear
He is.
He's good looking.
Paid model.
But Rusty gets his money.
the hand model.
I'm with Crispin. We need to have that conversation because I'm with you.
But Eric Whitaker.
I think Crispin's just jealous.
He doesn't like
Yeah.
live composers.
Yeah, if they're alive. Well, Arvo Pärt's my favorite alive composer, but he's
You like them
90.
better when they're dead.
Really?
I do like him better.
How did you pronounce his last name?
Parrot, right?
Arvo Pärt?
Part.
Pärt.
P-A-R-T-E.
A is umlaut, so you make it Pärt instead
Yeah.
of part.
That's true.
Arvo Pärt.
Oh yeah, it does have an umlaut. You're right.
Estonian.
Dr. Faust also taught me how to say those. Umlauts.
He's the
That's
one that
only-
wrote Magnificat,
that's only if there's the
really
umlaut.
whacked out version of Magnificat. Right? Yeah, I sang that in college. It was
Cantus for Benjamin Britten. Spiegel and Spiegel's one of his most famous ones. Very minimalistic.
awesome. Yeah, see, I like that. I don't like 18-note tone clusters.
Yeah.
You do, but I don't.
Good band.
I pointed at Sam.
You know tone clusters.
He does that all the time.
It's a
You say
good
something,
band
he's like,
name.
good band name.
But you got to grab those ideas when
Yeah,
you're there.
hey,
else
hey,
they're
yeah,
gone.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like-
copyright.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll say
Trademark,
trademark. That's right, exactly.
knowledge.
Knowledge. Unless you go to Nebraska, it's just an N.
Yeah. Are we? So, what's going on in the world of Mercer County? They're here.
You know, when we went to that session of yours, which was good, about the solo ensemble stuff, you know, we do I used to do what Steve does, and I've slowly moved it to everybody does something, but they don't have to take it to contest. Just within the last 5 years. So it's kind of interesting. So that's what we're doing right now. But we'll do 2 days of concert band, a day of solo ensemble, and a day of pep band. And then as you get closer, you put more days of solo ensemble in it. So it's just, and then if I'm lazy, we just play pep band. You know, if you can get through all the stuff
We
you
have
want to.
so
with
many
concert band stuff.
modulated schedules anymore at our school, and not to say that
Yeah.
they're not needed, but like we've got advisory every day in the schedule, but like we've had to do makeup testing on 2 random days, and so we had a 2-hour late start schedule, but the kids still had to be there at 8 for the 2-hour block, and then we have 26-minute classes. What are you going to get done of new literature
Yes.
in that time? We'd rather just make use of the time rehearsing something we've already worked on the day before, or for him, like pep band, it's still getting somewhere. It's getting something done.
Right.
Solo ensemble on my side of the world in choir, like I make all of my junior high kids do at least 1 entry between 7th and 8th grade. They can opt out of it if they've if they're doing one in band. I don't make them do something in choir. I just think that the process of becoming a musician, like you should prepare some sort of ensemble or solo on your own time. but I only dedicate about 15 minutes a week to each one of those kids to not sacrifice the group stuff, because we've got PLC in February with the junior high, we've got org stuff to prepare for, and a number of other things. The high school, the freshman choir, my junior mixed group, they all have to do something solo and ensemble related. Most of them opt to do it anyway, and then the high school kids, I just let them do it if they want to. We always end up getting enough to warrant keeping it the way it is.
You don't want to beat a dead horse.
No, I want the kids to want to do it, because I don't want to teach something that they don't want to do. And I do like tone clusters. Leave me alone. I think they're crunchy, and I like them.
And I like using, Art and I are going to disagree on this, but I like using pep band as reading material for sight reading.
I can see, seriously, I can see that, because my struggle with pep band is that the kids want to play it, but they're not set up to play those rhythms. Like, they don't know, I think they don't know the counting that builds up to that, because it's all like those 16 notes.
A lot of the time, though, you'll take that little phrase or passage and put it on the board.
Unless you manipulate it.
If I know I've got one of those, I'll teach it before we go.
Right, and that's fine.
But I think that we've got 90 tunes in the folder, and I have a wheel on my phone that we put up on the TV, and we just spin it, and we play 30 seconds of whatever it is, no matter how bad it sounds, because I just want them to read.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And so, but in that pep band season, hundreds of people see us.
Right.
And so, for us, it's the best PR in the world.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I always tell the kids, national anthem, school flight song. It has to be the best song that you ever play.
Yeah.
Because after that, it's just a matter of just remember how the tune goes, remember the tempos and stuff, because they're all a little bit different, right? For pep band, I want to get it to where it is maybe more simplified, because why learn a whole tune if you're not even gonna play 30 seconds of it? Because some of these tunes are, depending on what, if you're reading a whole chart,
right?
Because we only play before the varsity game at halftime as multiple minutes of actual music. Because then during the game, it's okay, we're only gonna do a snippet of this because we can't, So I try to make pep band where it's here's what we have to know, and then it's repeatable, and the kids learn it faster and whatnot. Of course, I'd love to do what you do.
How do you guys figure out pep band world? There's 800 different timeouts.
I don't do that.
You just don't play during timeouts.
Nope.
Oh, really?
It's I've seen somewhere it's the home cheerleaders, then it's the visitors cheerleaders, then it's band.
Boys games are easier because
did Hannah just raise her hand?
I did.
Hannah raised her hand.
But we play all the girls games.
He's talking.
We play all the girls games too.
Yeah.
So I just don't play during timeouts because it's too hard. You should have something called up, if it's a 30 or whatever, and I just sit there and talk to my friends.
Yeah.
But we play a lot.
Right,
so,
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I play during the timeouts.
Yeah?
I make them do that.
Yeah.
And then we have a mezzanine that we're on, and so then I'll turn around and I'll look for the ball.
Right.
And then I'll be okay, and they're whistling.
Yeah.
And then I cut them off.
Yeah, and that's what we should do, but my kids will complain that our student section is on the other side, and they want to go sit with their student section. I'm like, that's fine. And in that case, I don't have the kids to play.
Yeah.
So when do you play?
We play during the warm-up, all through the warm-up, and then during the halftime when they come back out.
We don't play during the warm-up because our basketball team gets to choose a playlist that they warm up to.
You know what I would do in that situation?
Tell them no.
I would not go to the games.
Well, we play during halftime, and we play over the cheerleaders. And
you play over the cheerleaders.
We play over the cheerleaders.
That's awesome.
We play
you and the
during
cheerleading sponsored coach, whatever, are good friends, aren't you?
Yeah, we are good friends. Actually, we are. Actually.
But that's the way it was done before.
Yeah.
Right. So that's tough for you since you're a first-year teacher too. I just feel like if I'm getting all these kids out and we're going to be in that gym, we are playing.
Well, I mean,
as much as we can.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I mean, with where we are, our gym is just so small that it's it's almost so much.
It's called a shoebox for a reason.
Well, does Monmouth Roseville have the whole band come for pep band, or is it sections?
Now
No,
we
now
have the whole
band. It was when I first got there. It was split. Now I know why, because it was mostly just for room.
Mm-hmm.
But it was was very difficult for me to get the grading right because so and so would be scheduled. Student A would be scheduled. Student A would say, I can't make it, and we had this sort of system where the student B is supposed to fill in for them.
Yeah, like a sub.
Student B would have to remember, or it would be student A's grade. But if student B showed up, I don't know who student A.
Yeah.
Way too complicated. So
Yeah.
now, here are the dates in advance, starting in May.
It's 10 days.
Like it really is.
It's 10 days.
I know.
Like we play they play girls and boys conference games.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the games, we have 99% of the time either magical singers or a soloist sing the anthem.
Just do the anthem. And
Yes.
then they do their own music, which is fine. I mean, they can do their own music even if we weren't there.
They
But,
get a
like,
little bit of both.
Right. So so I play during the timeouts. I always have something ahead of time ready to go. And yeah, I mean, it's clunky a little bit, but I mean, it's good for them to play. They want to play the pep band music.
Something that I'm having trouble with for pep band is because I commute so far. I commute 45 minutes to school, and
We're not
it's
on
difficult. It's difficult,
It is.
and so then to be at pep band until at least halftime, and then we play during halftime, and then be at school until 8:10 p.m. I went to school and I was like, I feel homesick because I just want to go home, but I have to be here until like my bedtime basically. And yeah,
That's the
so
life
that's
of a music teacher.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
whether you live a minute away or 45.
yes.
I lived
You
in
know.
Moline for 7 years and commuted to Aledo. I get it.
Yeah.
Have you considered moving?
Yeah, I was like, 3 minutes away from the school was amazing. That was awesome.
It's
pretty good
But
now,
now you
isn't
have a
Crispin?
house.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Crispin rolls out of bed into his office.
Pretty much.
It is great.
That's awesome.
Or her alarms will wake me up at like 5:15.
Yeah.
Then more likely that.
Yeah.
Pep band for us is a thing that our kids really like to do.
Yeah.
And if they really like to do it, I'm going to do it because I only live a minute away from the school.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
it's like we're going to play 17 games this year,
Sure. Yeah, there you
and
go.
they're playing tonight, and they'll lead their own. Tonight.
Yeah.
That's
They
so
don't do that
That's
all
cool.
the time, but they do, and I think that the visibility of that has helped us. I mean, we had $35,000 in private donations last year, and that's a part of it, just being visible, you know. So
That's crazy. Oh, good for you guys.
yeah, and when they're not like this year in a new conference, we had
The
some
Three Rivers Athletic Conference
true
for
that.
music.
Yeah.
Name the three rivers. Go.
Oh,
Rock,
Illinois.
Illinois, Mississippi.
Probably.
You didn't even know.
No, I had no idea. I thought it was a lake.
Pacific, Atlantic, Antarctic. Yeah.
So
Pacific Ocean.
I just told them that we wouldn't. There were some Saturday games, and I'm like, I'm not playing Saturday games. I will not. So I mean, I play more games than anybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and they complain. Oh, I got myself. you didn't notice it.
No, that was so good.
Mr. Fuggles.
They complain when we're not there, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I say I kind of imagine like the hours I put in for marching band on a Saturday
Yes.
transfer to the spring semester.
Yeah.
So if things are happening on a Saturday, I'm good. but no, I've also been trying to write like whatever's popular, just write out a couple bars that they
Yeah.
like, because all that rap stuff is just repeated. And that's all they want to play. I was like, okay, fine, well I'll write it out and then we'll go play it, and then they like it, and then trying to get the student section involved too. So yeah, pep band is just I want to find a way that fits into our system a little bit easier, whether we are just taking more time to just read through the music, or just like making the music slightly easier, but that allows for more music to be played. Like if the music's easier, then we can do more of it. Does that make sense?
I don't.
So,
I will pick super easy stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
But that's really
They
neat
don't know
about
any
this.
different.
no.
Right. Well, that's just it.
The crowd
like,
doesn't.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty neat how you do that, though. It's almost like a exciting exercise.
But you know what they do
Yeah.
know is if you play too hard of a song and then it's completely botched. You know, like that
Yeah.
that end of it, they will definitely notice. Like, you know, like you have.
I've
some-
always wanted to do the wheel at a game.
right.
But you
just
might,
have a
but you might
complete
accidentally pull up like a
sight reading,
Frankenstein or like a kung fu.
or just do one tune a night.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the wheel, and spin it, and have all the kids.
You know what'd be
just
cool is if you found like a crowd member to spin the wheel for you.
Yeah.
Do a raffle.
Ooh, you want your pep band song to be played? Oh.
Well, then they get to choose.
Then
They,
they
don't
get
get
to
to
choose,
spin. But they
Put
probably
it on there a million times on the wheel.
All kinds of good ideas, you guys.
But
Well,
it
when you
sounds
were
like work.
describing that, I didn't know if you were talking about in class or at the game. I was like, maybe he does do the wheel
No,
at the
it was in
game.
class. It's in
Okay.
class. But it's a here. Well, of course nobody can see it. It's not
You'll
very
have to
good
show us later.
podcast.
Well, we can take a picture of it and put it on the Facebook.
It can be our cover page.
Yeah. Not a cover page, but like a post on Facebook. So the context.
This took me a while.
Oh my gosh, they're so small. There's so many of them. They're like zoomed out.
Oh my.
Spin one, see what it lands on.
Can
Yeah.
I see?
And then we're gonna sing. Oh, that's a cool app.
And you actually have to spin it. Oh,
Alrighty.
cool.
It'll
For those
slow
of
down here
you
a
waiting
little
at
bit.
Oh,
home,
here we go.
We
And-
have-
What song is it?
We will be playing Barbara Ann by the Beach
Ba,
Boys.
ba, ba. I think,
The
yeah.
kids want to play that all
guys,
the
they're
time.
gonna
I said,
get
guys,
copyright
it's
strike.
not in the tuba book. It's not in this book. It's on the-
Aiden can wing it.
And as far as that goes, I've got a guitar player for the first time.
Oh, cool.
And I'll just hand write out some stuff.
There you go.
But it's like, okay, hey, you're in B flat. It's a 1-4-5-1. Figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, because
Use your
guitarists
ear.
have to do that.
No, use your ear. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all good stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds
That's
good.
a nice French horn, I
That sounds
hear.
nice.
Yeah.
French?
Yeah. It's
You
probably,
sound like that,
they're
Lisa?
having a meeting right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you missing the International
Yeah.
French Horn
No,
Society?
because that's not what it's
No,
called.
it's the local IL horn club.
Yeah, actually, on Saturday there's a horn reading session in Macomb.
Really?
Yeah, Dr. Faust does them like the first Saturday of every month.
Oh.
I was gonna say with IMEC,
Shout out Dr.
Yeah.
not a lot of people going to
Faust
that
Mac.
for IMEC, unfortunately.
Well, I don't think it's not just music teachers.
That's
Not everyone in the world's at IMEC right now.
seems like it.
I know.
All the best people.
There's a
are
lot of people here, and a lot of people just stand in the middle of a hallway.
Oh, tell me
Including
about it.
us. Including us.
No,
we
we're
were just
sitting at
doing
the
that.
side of a quiet.
I try to pull over when that happens.
We were-
Put your hazards on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What are you going to tomorrow?
I actually haven't made my schedule for tomorrow yet.
Surprise.
I'm going to go watch Williamsfield's rock band thing.
What time is that?
3:30, I think.
3:15, 3:30?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta
I
go.
think that's really cool. So Jennifer McKenna
Shout
Shout out.
is the teacher at Williamsfield. And Williamsfield's a very small school. I think maybe 70 kids in the high school. Maybe. But she doesn't have a traditional band or choir per se. But one thing she does have is a rock band class. And then last year, it was actually here we were talking about, she's like, I really wish I could take my rock band to Solon Ensemble Contest. They want to go. I'm like, well, let's just call it random instrumentation. We'll put them in Kyle's room. I'll let Kyle know. Kyle?
Shout
Shout
out.
out.
Okay. I'll let Kyle know you're going to judge rock bands. And when he got done, he was like, that was so awesome. They played 3 songs. They went back to back to back. He's like, that was so much fun. Like, high school kids just doing this stuff was really great. And then they're just covering stuff. But that's what all solos, that's, we're reproducing music that's already been done. Nothing
Yeah.
we're doing is original. So,
Yeah, but you can change arrangements and stuff like that.
yeah.
Or keys, or you learn form. And
This guy across the street in the window's kind of giving me the heavies. I'm just saying.
He's
Oh my god, we all turned around and looked the other way.
Where?
I don't
So,
know.
yeah.
He went
it's
away.
3:30. Rusty,
When we
it's
looked over.
3:30 tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's actually in the room that Madeline was in today.
okay, thank you.
Pretty good.
So,
It was
shout out Williamsfield and the rock band.
Yeah,
That'll
that's gonna be
cool.
really fun.
But I think I said I've got emails like people want to do like voice and trumpet. And was it last year that Steven did tuba and triangle?
Yeah. I don't know if it was last year, but that
Tuba
happened.
angle.
How did you
That's
find
hilarious.
like
There's a piece. It's a piece.
it's a
Yeah.
It's a piece, all right.
JW.
That's one of those things you go to JW Pepper and you say pieces with tuba and triangle, and there's like one result pops.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, sold out all the time. Oh my gosh. Well, it was a good day today. Well, sorry,
We need to get back to Madeline because we said we were coming back.
That's right. Yeah, we did. Sorry.
Don't look at me. You're the one steering this ship.
Yeah, I'm on a train right now. Sorry, go back to Madeline before we wrap it up. Really, really awesome to see her kids. So
she's going to be on tomorrow.
She will be on. Yeah, so we still have, after this podcast, we will have hopefully 2 more episodes.
Right.
We'll have Madeline tomorrow, and then we will have Wesley Anderson from Rova, because he wrote us and said, hey, I want to be on the podcast and talk about a couple things, which we will absolutely do. So looking forward to talking with them. But
so that's the only thing I have to do is just write you, and then I can be on?
Yes!
Yeah.
I didn't even do
We
that.
got a dude from the Netherlands that wants to be on.
No way.
Yeah.
Not lying.
He reached out. I would say he's like...
Does he speak English?
His email was
What do they
English.
speak in the Netherlands?
Dutch.
Netherlandese.
Yeah, Dutch,
I
right?
knew it. Yeah.
Those Mercer County guys are pretty smart.
Listen,
Yeah.
I've taught Crispin a bunch.
So back to Madeline.
Yes.
Sorry.
It was very good.
And
No, they did great.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they did a really good job. It was great seeing them perform, and like I was saying, I kind of go back to what I said. It was great to see those kids performing in front of professionals that like they probably didn't even recognize what they were doing.
There's 20 kids in that room that'll get to say that they're all staters now.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That-
Well,
that they wouldn't
performance.
have, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I mean, regardless of the length and time of it all, like they prepared and performed at the All-State Convention, and that is ultimately something that nothing is going to get, that's not going to get taken from them. That's
Yeah,
just-
I say it all the time. It's a Bill Parcells quote for the rest of your life. Nobody can say you weren't good enough. You made it, and so you did it, and it was good.
And they were well behaved too. They sat there professionally,
Yeah.
waited,
Yeah.
and there's time in between when they were playing too, so they had to sit there and
Good performance
sit-
etiquette.
Yeah,
Right.
good performance etiquette.
Well, because there was one thing that you had said maybe or maybe it was you. It said it in our panel. Like you have to train the kids on like what to do, right? So I'm sure part of their rehearsal for this was like, there's going to be a lot of people staring at you. Just sit there, breathe, and just but also practicing for something like that too. You know what I mean? Like
It's
part
the
of
most
it's like
amount of time that many teenage kids weren't on their phones.
yeah, I'm sure.
Literally
But
be on
like,
my phone.
I can't imagine being Madeline. Like, I have to practice the presentation, pretending I'm talking to people,
Yeah.
and in my classroom. Like, there's like so many things that's like I'm trying to practice, but I know.
I thought
mentally.
her composure, because I remember what I felt like last year. Like, I'd never been more scared in my entire life. I was shaking the entire time. Like, I was nervous as nervous can be. And I only spoke like 12 words. And she actually presented. I thought her composure was fantastic, presenting to us, after she's nervous about her kids performing in front of a bunch of critical music teacher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought that was awesome. She did really well. Like, I don't care about flex band stuff, but I learned a lot about how that process works, and I think it's interesting that that's a possibility. And basically, I looked at you, Hannah. I looked at Hannah, and I'm like, oh, so part D. I'm like, this is soprano, alto, tenor, bass. It's just turning your band into choir parts. You're just playing the soprano part. You're playing the alto part. So it's
Yes.
pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, some of the flex bands can get. I've seen the 6 part. I think is the most I've seen for band, because that even covers like the individual, like clarinet 2 or 3 or trumpet 2 or 3 and stuff, splits and stuff.
But she was, and I looked at Hannah again. I'm like, this makes sense because you're. And then Madeline turned around and said, "Yeah, now you don't have to say I need alto sax 1, 2, and 3. I need tenor sax. I need flutes. You don't have to list everybody that you
Yes.
want to play this section. You just say, I want people that are playing.
By
A."
the time that you've listed everything, they've already forgotten, or they don't know where they are, or they're like doing
you've
something
forgotten.
else. I've forgotten.
Yeah.
Somebody will ask me a question, and I'll be like, okay, we need to start at 15. And then somebody will ask me a question, and I'll be talking and fixing something, and and I'll be like, beginning. And they were like,
You mean
We
like
were
when
supposed
Art
to
said
start
that he
at
was
measure
gonna take
15.
him there and then got sidetracked talking to Steven, so I had to take him.
Yep. Yep.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That part. That was the
Yeah.
best part.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was fun. All right, let's go home.
But that was great. Oh, wait,
Oh,
Lisa had her hand
do we
raised.
have a Lisa list?
No, but I made a list at the beginning of things I wanted to talk about from the panel.
Oh,
because
sure.
I didn't have a chance. I couldn't get a word in, and I didn't want to forget. So sorry.
No, it's your podcast.
Anyway, just a couple things from the panel I wanted to talk about. Kevin was talking about like being a little nervous before. I wasn't nervous until I sat next to Art, and then his computer said low battery, and I was like, "Dude, you are recording on there. Is this gonna make it?"
No, all good.
It did.
It was
so
good.
I was just watching the battery.
Sam just raised his hand.
Oh yeah, good.
He was waving at Katie.
Oh. It was funny because
Shout out Katie Pettigo.
Well, part of the reason I did that was because I always wanted to see like how much battery. I was actually at 50%.
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm all turned around now. I've ended up in the wrong location.
Where you going?
What are you looking for?
The Marquette hotel rooms.
Oh,
You gotta go up
the other
one
way.
more floor.
Yeah.
I got what?
One more floor.
So close. It's so close.
Yeah.
Well, like level 2.
Shout out
Or like-
Katie Pettigo.
Yeah, shout out.
Always lost.
Well, the reason I did that was because like I was like I charged this like before I left the house, so I don't know why. So unless I know I used it a little bit at the junior high, so I don't know. But anyway, so I was just wanted to like keep track of the battery and be like, okay, we should be able to make it. I'm at 50%, 56% to starting this thing, and then I'm watching the clock, so all good. But yeah, it recorded everything. That'll be fun. I'll have to try to edit it a little bit because the intro started a little bit too early. But
I'm not crying. My contact just decided it was totally dry. So ignore. Don't mind me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's so emotional.
Best IMEC.
Or she finally, it just came to her that she's married to Crispin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
She's crying.
The emotion.
How long?
Tears of joy.
How long?
And also, we talked about this scenario once we added video last week.
Sure.
One of my friends, Wes,
Shout out. Wes who? Sorry.
I don't know if I say his last name right, so I was trying not to. So thank you.
Really good friend.
Yeah.
Well, how about Wes from...
Wes Brabeck? I think it's Brabeck. Anyway, thank you. From Rockford area.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Shout out.
Shout out.
he came up to me after saying, and he said, I listen to the podcast all the time, and it was so interesting putting faces to names. He said he was trying to guess because he wasn't there right at the introduction, and he said I was thinking it was going to be people on the other end of the table. So
That's funny.
we surprised him.
So last week we do the. Lisa's not there yet, so I can get away with a little bit more. And I looked at the camera. I said, "Don't adjust your TV. He is Hispanic."
I heard
great.
that. But, so that
Anything
was,
else on the Lisa list from the panel? Because I thought you were amazing.
Oh, thank you. What was I? Oh, I know, but going back to Madeline, we love her. She shouted out, she told people to go to our panel next, which was right after hers, and she shouted out Music in the Making during her Flex Band thing.
Which Art forgot to do while he was talking about the podcast. Hey, if you missed anything, go to our podcast. And then Crispin, thank God, was like, "What's the name of your podcast?"
I had no idea. I wanted to know.
I didn't even know
Well,
this.
see, I was ready for Steven to do Q&A, and so I'm like, well, I guess I don't want to have people leave during the Q&A if they don't have questions. So I was like, oh, let me just try to get it out there.
You guys talked too much. I didn't have time.
Yeah, I was saying, he's like, we have 4 minutes. I'm like, was that enough for anyone to ask questions? I don't know. I guess I was like, I just gotta get out there before we say something, so it's all right.
Anyway.
We'll be walking around. And Kidder has our stuff at the booth, and they said they'll be putting our cards in their survival kits.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
And then I sent them a flyer that I made for us that they have posted in their building. So,
Shout out Kidder.
yeah, they're great.
Thank you, Beth.
Yeah.
Alexander Steakhouse was
Was
awesome
very good.
last night.
Yep.
Really
Yes,
good
Lisa.
food.
Sorry.
so I was Santiago Miranda.
Shout
Shut
out.
up.
Former Monmouth Roseville student, was asking about the podcast, and I said it's everywhere, and he pulled up his Apple Music, and I was searching for it and could not find it.
Rude.
I got it, I Googled it, and then found a link and sent it to him, but it did not show up in the search results. So I'm an Apple girly, but I have some problems right
I have
now.
beef. With
Yeah,
Apple.
yeah. I don't use
Interesting, huh?
Apple Music. But
I
yeah,
guess
it
if
did
I try
not
to-
pop up.
I guess if I try to search for it, I've already saved it, so
Yeah.
I'd have to test it out. Interesting.
And I tried a couple different things, and I think I was on like the right search.
I gotta
I don't
find
know.
a way to like have our links always available. Because Facebook is weird because it'll be like, "What's your website?" And it's
Yeah.
like, but I've seen some people that put multiple websites.
We can do like a link tree or whatever, like influencers do, and it's a link that takes you to a bunch of other links.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try that.
You're influencing something.
I was saying, knowledge.
Now
Knowledge.
I'm fiddling with stuff, and
Knowledge
Kevin's gonna be
demand.
mad at me. I'm not hitting the table, but I'm like flicking the post-it notes.
Welcome to Lisa's List ASMR.
Yes. Okay, that's the end of my Lisa's list, which is not in my phone this time.
That's okay. This has been a great day so far. And we still have the gala, and we still have the Guardian Party, we still have the President's Party. It's good. It's just good to be amongst people that that teach and also are friends. You know what I mean?
Fusty Fuggles will be there.
I'll
yeah,
be there.
I cannot wait for Fusty Fuggles.
Sam, you okay? You're quiet today.
Just hanging.
Somebody
What
kept
you
us up a little
thinking?
late last night.
Oh.
It was
Chris
Lisa,
from
wasn't
Metropolis.
Who's your new friend from Paducah?
Yeah.
it? Shout out, Chris.
I didn't keep you up. You're a grown.
No.
Grown person.
I almost swore. You're a grown man.
I'm so proud of you, Kevin.
He's getting better.
Oh, she gets so mad at me. I'm like, I don't even know I do it.
We are family friendly on this podcast.
Sometimes.
We're supposed to be.
4 times.
All right, let's go do stuff.
All right. Anyway, well, before we wrap it up, we kind of already said thank you to Kidder, but we can't thank them enough because they sponsor us and they are always so good to us. And also, they gave us steak dinner the other night. We definitely appreciate that. Now that we're here at IMEC, make sure that you come see them at their booth. They'll have tons of music for band, flex band, choral, and vocal music with extra discounts. Especially being at a conference, extra discounts are always great. They'll have some IMEC survival kits and with some goodies and stuff that you can take back to your group. And now with all solo ensemble season on the brain, as well as organizational coming up, now is a good time to get those scores, especially at discounted. But reach out to them for any time for any musical needs. And thank you all for being on the podcast.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Always, anytime,
It was
you're
fun.
welcome.
I'm,
Reach
like,
out.
so tired.
And if you're a listener or a new listener, if you ever want to be on the podcast in some capacity and or at least have a topic for us, you can email us at musicinthemaking.pod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And now, with that being said,
Bye.
I think I'm going to communicate with the 6th graders.
That's how it ends?